Guy on that corner would be nice. There we go. Over to the rock. Okay. Let's get one guy on the corner. Stonechild Chiefstick. Here to honor the family. Here to honor the respectful.
Yes.
waterways. This is Suquamish. This is our land, our people's way. Our teachings came down from our ancestors. And one of those teachings is that life is sacred. And Stoney's life is sacred. And someone struck him down. You know, justice is easy. It's people who hide the truth that find justice difficult. So this is what Stoney's doing for us today, bringing us together and keeping this alive, not just for him, but for everyone. And I want to say, my heart goes out to the family. You are so strong for standing for your father, for your son, for your relative, to keep this moving. Something holy is moving. You can feel it. There will be a time when this change will come to be, and we offer those prayers to the Creator God so that that change will come and be firm and complete the promise. We put our hopes up with the Creator, and He always listens to us. Always. So I will say a prayer now. Thank you.
At this time, we asked my brother James Old Coyote from our Sacred Life New Family to go ahead and bless us all here, bless Stone's spirit with some songs to lift the family up, to lift the children up.
sure they're okay. We're going to step in and make sure that they're safe. And that didn't happen here. People didn't make sure he was safe. The people who were supposed to protect us were not. They were sent here, they're doing their job to protect white people. They weren't doing it to protect brown people, to protect black people. But we need to do that. So, as an auntie, as a leader, as a mom, we need to fight together. We're going to bring people together, and we're going to keep moving forward. That's my commitment to you. And also, because we're a witnessing culture, that means that it's our responsibility. If we saw this, if we felt this, it is our responsibility to tell this story, and to tell it again and again and again. And we're going to do that. So, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my relations, I am here for you. I'm here with my family. All of you are my family, and we're going to get through this together. It's the only way to go. So, for Stony. Yay!
Leonard Forsman, the chairman of the Suquamish tribe.
I'd like to thank Aggie and Robin for opening this up, and I'd like to thank Chuck for helping the family, and my heart goes out to you. I think about a gathering we had of religious leaders at the House of Weight and Culture right before the pandemic. It was probably one of the last gatherings I went to, and it was a strong, strong group of people there, and the family came, and I got a chance to sit with Stoney's mom, and you know, it was really hard for her to be there, but she was strong and resilient, like Robin was saying earlier. You know, it's a very beautiful place here. This is our ancestral home here. There was an ancient village down there at the head of Liberty Bay. There's place names throughout this area. I've fished out here for Chinook salmon with my brother. We gifted the city of Poulsbo, in the spirit of government relations, with a paddle that was carved by the late J.R. Morissette, and with the help of Sammy Mabe, that depicted an ancient story that occurred just down by where the Liberty Bay Marina is now. And it was one of our creation stories. And so that still sits at City Hall as a testimony, a sentinel to the ancestral presence here in Poulsbo. You know, what happened here will always be a part of this landscape. Aggie talked a lot about his spirit, and his spirit is here today. And like Robin said, the tribe has been carrying a pretty heavy load here. Not as heavy as the family has, and some of its friends have, but it's been a heavy load for us to try to find a way to get the justice that's needed. And you know, if I just thought if there was just a little bit more love here a year ago, a little bit more understanding, he'd be here right now. And less fear. This was a fear-driven situation. It was a fear of a big, beautiful American Indian man of the Chippewa Cree Nation who lived in Suquamish. And as Robin said, we feel responsible for him because he lived on our reservation, has family on our reservation. So the system is broken. This is that's why we're all here. I think the county prosecutor admitted it when he said, I wish the AG, the State Attorney General, would start prosecuting these things, because he went through the process and it's broken. And it's so biased towards allowing this to happen when a situation can have been very easily de-escalated. It could have been de-escalated. So just like to thank everybody for coming out and being peaceful. And I remind when I'm in government discussions with elected leaders, I said, you know, we had a lot of peaceful protests. We're building capital with these peaceful protests. You're always scared that something's going to happen, and nothing ever does because we are respectful. But don't let that be a pass, because we expect change. So once again, thank you.
All I need to say is
honor to get to speak for my sister, Lydia First Star Sago. We are here today to honor the life of Stonechild Chiefstick and call for justice for his family. I am not hopeful for justice, as the judicial system has repeatedly dehumanized Indigenous people. This is an important method to utilize when stealing native land. We don't have the same property rights, the same civil rights as white Americans. Still today, the fact that the Supreme Court cites a trio of early 19th century opinions written by Chief Justice John Marshall that greatly limited tribal sovereignty should be seen within a particular sector of the American population is fully human under our law. Unlike other racial and biological groups, the court has sought to legally dehumanize. The basic holdings of the Marshall Trilogy have never been overturned, and the blatant racism at the heart of these cases has never been adequately readdressed. So the Supreme Court cases calling us savages and uncivilized are still upheld, and the racist belief system is still defining Indian rights in the present-day United States. Does the Constitutional Bill of Rights apply to us? I read the prosecutor's report, and apparently a brown man walking with a screwdriver in his hand is seen as holding a screwdriver in a lower stabbing motion. Looking at people strangely isn't supposed to be a death sentence. Shooting into a crowd because a brown man is holding a screwdriver is wrong. Cops are acting as judge, jury, and executioner and lying about the threat. We saw with George Floyd, the cop said he was resisting arrest. We saw the video. He was compliant. Tommy Lee was killed in King County, and they did everything they could to turn that young man's pen into a knife in the investigation report. We saw the woman in Central Park weaponize her whiteness as to say, an African American man is threatening my life. I wish that people saw Stoney that night and thought that if that was their brother and he needed help, how would they want others to react? If that was the cop's nephew, would he have been shot? We need to build a community of trust. Native Americans need to know that we have equal rights under the law. Thank you to our allies here today. We have learned from the history and want to see liberty, freedom, and equality for all people. Thanks to all of you folks for caring about Stoney and his family. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. I was thinking, I'm pretty much a mutt. I'm German, Hungarian, Romanian, Scottish, a little Norwegian, and Minikaju Sioux. But I remember back during high school in 1975, here at North Kitsap, there was a totem pole carved in what was called Indianette now. It was carved by Jake Jones. It was called Indian Club at that time. And non-native students and native students carved this totem pole. And it was for the bicentennial of the country, celebrating that the very next year. It didn't make it to the bicentennial of the country. Within 2 weeks, someone had took a chainsaw, but they chickened out and they only cut halfway through. So then we put metal bars on there to keep the totem pole from falling down. This was up at North Kitsap High School. And then within another week, they came back with dynamite and tried blowing up that totem pole. That totem pole wouldn't come down, but it was decided at that time, because of the disrespect to it, it was taken down. And it was taken out to Little Boston, and the totem pole was out of Little Boston, out of Park Hamel Sprawling Reservation. So at that time, that's what made me really think about the people from this land, about treaties that never got honored fully. Chief Seattle there was 3 things that he really wanted when his young men got angry. You know, he said the young men wanted to fight, but the older men knew better than that. But what he did want is he wanted protection for his people, because they got raided from the people in the north. They got raided down here. So he said, I want King Washington's army to protect my people from King George's. That was one of his things that he really wanted. He also wanted education, and he wanted health and welfare for his people. He really liked Doc Maynard over in Seattle, you know. And so all this land, there was 18 winter houses here on the Kitsap Peninsula. You know, 18 winter houses all along this great land here that they went ahead and said, okay, we'll do this treaty. We'll sign this treaty. And they honored the treaty that the Suquamish people did. You know, but still to this day, that treaty hasn't been honored by the U.S. government. There was no protection here for Stony, who liked to come watch fireworks. And the only reason why there's not fireworks here tonight is not honoring Stoney's death. It's because of this virus. That's why they're not having it. So one of the things I would like to see is Poulsbo never have a fireworks display on the 3rd of July again. The other thing I've been really thinking about and praying about, you know, I got my associate's degree in chemical dependency counseling when I got sober. I decided to do that. And my bachelor's was in bachelor's in social work with a minor in Indian law. And I don't like writing a lot, so I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I did my master's in public administration, tribal governance. And when I got to thinking about it, and I was watching all this stuff go on Facebook, you know, about the police, you know, and we had problems with the police before, you know, in Suquamish. And we had all the families at one time come up and tell the council that the police were treating the people bad. Me and Aggie and Daniel walked in the front of 65 people that marched down to the police station. And then we talked to our council in a good way, in a prayerful way. We came down and we told them that they had to replace the police that night, appoint somebody else police chief, and get rid of them, because we spoke to them. We went down, me and Steve Olcout and Chuck Dean went down and tried to talk to the police chief, but he had his feet up on the desk with his box of donuts, and he didn't think any of his officers were bad. But the people knew the difference, and the people made the change. So I want to know, to have somebody be a chemical dependency counselor in this state, they need 2 years, an associate's degree at least, to deal with people with problems. If you want to get into the nursing field, just to get into the nursing field, you need to go ahead and get a minimum of a 2-year degree. But when you want to be a cop, you got to go 16 weeks to a academy and then you're done. So maybe we ought to tell the lawmakers in this state, we want the cops to have a 2-year degree with 1/4, a 2-year degree in criminal justice with 1/4 on de-escalation and communication. That's something that I think would make a difference if you do that. You know, and the only, I was thinking, I seen something and I put it on my Facebook. It's from Benjamin Franklin. And he says that justice will not be served unless the unaffected are as outraged as the affected. And we're seeing that in the country now. I've been hearing about civil rights since the 60s. We still have no civil rights, not if you have the wrong color. You know, so I want to thank everybody for taking this time to come out here and tell the family, tell the children, we care about what happened to Stoney. We don't want to see that happen. We want Stoney here. We can't bring him back. You know, it's a sad thing that we can't fix that for his children. And I think, Trish, did you want to do that with the kids? You said you wanted to introduce the kids.
Hi everybody, I'm Alana Don Chiefstick. I'm Stoney's second daughter, and I'm gonna introduce all of us, all of Stoney's kids. And I have a brother, my older brother, named Wahidika, and he couldn't be here. He couldn't be here right now, and he sends love and prayers to, and is thankful for everyone being here. And my sister Kiara, she's my dad's first daughter. She's the same age as Wahidika. And Stoney. He's 16. And he's my dad's first son. And there's Kane. And he's the youngest son. And then there's Lily. She's the youngest of my dad's children. And I want to thank my mom for doing all this and getting a hold of everything. Thank you all for being here. And yeah.
So, every one of you bring medicine for these children and for the family. Every one of you being here, is helping them lift them up. Then, when we were talking about this, me and my brother John Jones here, we're like, we got to do something. We got to do something. Virus stuff, and he goes, hey, why don't we do this caravan thing like they do for birthdays and stuff like that? So this was John's idea. And then we wanted to end this in a good way. So then I talked to John. He goes, well, why don't we sing a song at the end that everybody knows? And I said, all right, John, think of the song. Let me know what the song is, and then we'll go ahead and sing a song. So I was thinking, maybe he's going to do Cheat Dan George or something like that. But like a lot of our people, with the canoes and all of this happening over the years, a lot of that comes back. And John prayed about it, and a song came to him, so I'm going to let John explain the song.
My name is Katrina Johnson, and I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me over here to be here with you all, to stand in solidarity. And to the family, I'm so sad that I have to welcome you into the family that nobody wants to be in, because the only way to get into this family is your loved one being killed by the police. I too share that pain when the police killed my cousin, Charlena Lyles. And I just want to let you guys know that I am here for you. I am a phone call away, and we are going to stand with your family for as long as you guys are fighting, and know that you are not alone, and know that you have our full support, because Black Lives Matter Native lives matter, and we have to be one to fight the injustice that is continuing to happen to our people. So just know that I love you and I am here for you.
I called on her when I was feeling pretty down the last few days. I don't know, I didn't know how to handle things. Putting all my energy into trying to make sure this cop gets some charges. And I want to do that for Stoney, you know, and I want to do that for his mom. And I want to do that for his sisters and his nephews and his cousins and his children and myself and my mom and my dad and my family who all loved him. Stoney always brought that smile into a room, and he always carried pretty good laughs, and he always liked to joke around with everybody, and like he could just be sitting there feeling grumpy about something, and he'll make you feel happy. He'll make you feel pretty good because he clowns around and jokes around. You know, Keller took that away from everyone. He had no right to do that. And I didn't know how I felt about coming, you know, because thinking about what happened a day here, it really broke me down, and I haven't broke down like that. My sister Gina Rogers, she died in police custody in Kitsap County, February 20th. And they had love for one another, and Stoney was really hurt about my sister. And you know, the cops didn't protect my sister. I need justice for my sister Gina, and not her kid, and everyone else that loved her. She was important. And I've really just been putting all my anger and hurt into joining with people like Katrina, I-940 people. I don't know if any of you know, but the governor picked her and put her on the special task force to do some work that's going to be good for everyone. I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing, but they're going to be advising these lawmakers. And I'm part of a group with her, and it's the Washington State Coalition on Police Accountability. And I've been able to talk to some senators and some House representatives and say Stoney's name and tell them the story, and so they know what happened. We're fighting for an independent investigation because we love Stoney, and we're not going to let anybody hurt him. His last words were "chill out." I've actually heard those words from him a few different times. You know, and the sad thing is he was the one trying to de-escalate the situation. He was the one telling that killer cop to chill out. I'm not going to stop until we get justice.
Right, yeah.
We love you, Stoney.
That's cool.
Anybody want to say anything? I know we're coming on 9:22. I don't know. Sorry. 9:02. Okay, well, is there anybody that'd like to say anything? You'd like to say something? Come up and tell us your feelings.
I don't want anybody else to get hurt by any more cops. No one deserves to be treated like this. No one.
That's right.
They didn't even deserve. And these cops did nothing. They didn't help us. They didn't help us. When
Love you, Tony.
Oh.
All right, we've come to that time where John's gonna go ahead and everybody join in this song the best way you can. Pick it up. So it's 9:17, so we're just gonna keep it rolling. Go pick it up. And at 9:22, we're just gonna ask for silence, and then we're done. Okay? Take it away, John. Oh. Oh, 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 oh.